Have you ever sat to wonder what life would be like if prehistoric animals like the dinosaurs were still around? But while you try to find an answer, you should know that whether it's hefty or puny, nasty or charming, friendly or aggressive, many of them would have made it close to impossible for man to propagate his dominance if they'd still been alive. But many of us don't know how lucky we are that we live in the times to not see them around anymore. And that's why we bring you the 10 animals you're glad don't exist anymore. Number 10. Titanoboa. After the last dinosaurs died 65 million years ago, our planet witnessed the rise of the great Titanoboas, which were giant reptiles known to be the largest snakes ever to roam the lands. They clearly must have been the apex predators because Titanoboas were stealth hunters that didn't mind feeding on anything from a 7-foot lungfish to turtles or massive crocodiles multiple times larger than we have today. You can bet we humans don't even stand a chance. As part of a documentary by the Smithsonian Channel about these monsters' ferocity, they made a life-size replica of a Titanoboa. And guess what? It estimated up to 48 feet long, 2,500 pounds. When you bring that to perspective, that makes the largest green anaconda on Earth, measured at 882 pounds, appear like spaghetti. It might be good news for the other animals, especially for the crocodiles in its era big enough to escape an encounter with one, that these massive beasts were non-venomous, just like the modern-day anacondas. But with hefty muscles that can squeeze like placing 3 Eiffel Towers on you, they were the perfect crushing machine you don't want roaming anywhere in your dreams. Number 9. Megalodon. Aside from being the biggest and deadliest sharks, megalodons are also one of the largest fish ever to exist in history, with an insatiable craving for flesh. They have jaws lined with 276 teeth, wide enough to swallow 2 adult men standing side by side like it's nothing. And each tooth is capable of delivering a bite force that is 138 times stronger than a man's. To put it this way, the great white sharks, which are the largest meat-eating sharks that exist today, attack over 100 humans per year. How much more would it be for another, known to be more ferocious with size 3 times longer than the largest great white? If the megalodon were still around, just forget snorkeling, outdoor swimming, and your next surfing picnics, because the ocean would definitely be off limits. But don't be glad just yet, because these big bad boys, which we believe died out 2.6 million years ago, have been reportedly sighted in several parts of the world, even on Google Maps. Number 8. Super Crocs. The name Super Croc, Killer Croc, or Mega Croc, as you deem fit, was given to any of the crocodilian species that ruled the ecosystem about 100 million years ago. And that includes the Sarcosuchus from Africa and South America, estimated at 37 feet, 17,000 pounds, the Dinosuchus from North America at 18,000 pounds, and the Parasaurus from Amazon that could extend up to 39 feet, at a whopping 22,000 pounds. Super Crocs prey on mighty dinosaurs like the large duck-billed hadrosaurs and spinosaurs. They also fed on theropods, which belong to a dino family that includes even the almighty Tyrannosaurus rex. But while megalodons would only drive you out of the water, Super Crocs would keep you both away from it and anywhere on land near it, because they are well adapted for hunting in both places. When experts tried to simulate how deadly they were, these massive predators could break the bones of a fully grown cow and a metallic chain in a single bite. It's not like we're so happy that animals went extinct, but a mere thought of a predator strong enough to feast on dinosaurs might keep us, and even you, from reconsidering. Number 7. Andrewsarchus. Known to be the largest meat-eating mammal to ever live, Andrewsarchus was a scavenger and an omnivore, meaning that it could eat pretty much anything that could fit right into its mouth. In that way, many researchers would prefer to call them the mammalian version of a velociraptor, though they weren't categorized as dinosaurs at all. They lived 35 to 45 million years ago during the Middle Eocene epoch in the eastern parts of Asia, where we now call Inner Mongolia in China. Their superb skull alone measured 3 feet long. They can be as tall as a horse and can extend up to 12 feet. Despite looking like a hoofed hyena, a recent study shows that these beasts are closely related to whales and hippos, which, as you know, are mighty animals in our world today. But what's much terrifying about these predatory animals is that we've never found a complete skeleton. The scientists only have a single skull discovered during an expedition by a group of researchers sometime in 1923 to shape their ideas of its appearance. So, the fossil found might even be a young adult yet to reach its maximum size for all we know. Number 6. Ratzilla. These giant rodents did exist about 4 million years ago in the South American rainforest and can grow as big as a bull with weights closing up to a ton. Ratzillas ate only plants with no craving for flesh, but with their fearsome but long incisors, they can deliver a bite 3 times as powerful as predicted for modern-day tigers, and that's strong enough to kill a man. These massive teeth help defend them against predators, including saber-toothed cats and terror birds. So, they are pretty much badass like you would think of any other animals on this list. Number 5. Helicoprion. The helicoprion, or the buzzsaw ratfish, as they are commonly called due to the weird saw-like half-circular row of chompers at their mouth base, are specific groups of cartilaginous fish that belong to a lineage where the ancestors of the living shark and ratfish parted ways. Because of that, and primarily due to their jaw's demonic shape, helicoprions stood out as one of the unique shark species of all time. Their classic mouth came because, unlike most sharks, helicoprions don't shed their teeth, but they rather make a spiral out of it in their lower jaw as a hunting and defense mechanism. When you imagine the swirl of an electric chainsaw with a bite force 3 times stronger than that of a T-Rex, that's precisely what a helicoprion is made of, making them the perfect carnivore. Even though this demon shark had only been recognized to feed on boneless sea animals like giant squids and other sharks during their time about 275 million years ago, they had the perfect tool to slash almost any animal into 2, including humans, of course. Number 4. Smilodon. Smilodons, also known as saber-toothed tigers, even though they are not related to cats, are so named because of their long upper canines, which they use to tear off their prey's jugular vein, resulting in instant death. They can open their mouth as wide as 180 degrees, which could fit a human's head. Smilodons rocked the Americas about 2.5 million up to 10,000 years ago, in a period popularly known as the Ice Age. The saber-cats are also believed to have fed on bison, giant ground sloths that could have weighed up to 4 tons, and humans if they were around. As heartless as it might seem, that's one of the reasons we're particularly glad that these mega beasts didn't make it out of the Ice Age extinction all those years ago, because they're one of the disturbances for our dear woolly mammoths. But don't mind us, at least Smilodons would also need to survive, wouldn't they? Number 3. Terror birds. Granted that the name might seem like something straight out of a movie scene, terror birds were real, and they're one of the most structurally analyzed ancient birds in history because it has one of the most complete fossils ever to be uncovered. But well known doesn't mean widely loved. You see, terror birds, the largest species of which was named Titanus, belong to a genus of flightless birds known particularly for their efficient predatory and aggressive behavior. They walk on 2 legs, can run extremely fast with long talons on their 3-toed feet, and are armed with axe-like beaks they use to pummel their prey to death. They may resemble our modern-day ostrich, but they're far much larger, nastier, and bloodthirsty. As you'd expect from such killers, the terror birds were the top predators in their prehistoric home around 5 million years ago, in what is now the southeastern United States, where they used their stabbing beaks to kill animals from mouse to ancient sheep. Their only contemporary enemy was the ancestral wolves, but when given the slightest chance, terror birds are ready to crush any skull as easily as you would a watermelon. Number 2. The Haast's eagle. While the crowned hawk eagle of Africa is the most powerful forest hunter in the world today, with enormous talons that have a skull-crushing power, the Haast eagle that once ruled over the jungles of New Zealand was 3 times larger and several times more powerful. Though it might sound unbelievable that the Maori legend depicted these carnivores as manhunters with a flair for our flesh, the scientific record says otherwise, because these giant birds lifted and prey on a particular type of flightless bird known as the moa, the largest of which could weigh more than 500 pounds. And with their size, powerful beak, and weight, a Haast eagle is mighty enough to hurl an average 20-year-old man who is just about 200 pounds heavy into the air while devouring him as they fly. But unlike most of the other animals on this list, the Haast eagle went extinct just about 400 years ago, when the first colonizers of New Zealand deliberately hunted its moa prey out of existence.
Before we move on, I've got a little challenge for you that'll take 5 seconds to complete. So here's the deal. You just leave a like on this video, smash that subscribe button, and hit the notification bell, and you'll get 25 years of amazing luck.
Number 1. Tyrannosaurus. What list of monsters, especially those you pray not to meet even in your dreams, would be complete without the king of dinosaurs and the Goliath of tyrant lizards known as the Tyrannosaurus? Estimated at 40 feet long, 13 feet tall, and weighed at nearly 13,000 pounds, Tyrannosaurus is the largest carnivore ever to walk on land. They're the predator with the most powerful bite force of any terrestrial animal of all ages, which in a single bite would crush as if a medium-sized elephant sat on you. And yes, they are also among the most famous dinosaurs ever propagated by the media, particularly in Jurassic Park. Tyrannosaurus spread their terror in North America from Alberta to Texas, all the way to Asia 70 million years ago when the seaway between the two continents receded. They feed on other massive dinosaurs and any other Jurassic animals in their path. While many people claim to be fans of Tyrannosaurus Rex, or T-Rex for short, none would want to encounter these giant killers in real life and hope to make a run for it because that's almost impossible, as T-Rexes could catch up even with Usain Bolt, the fastest man alive. With that said, we've come to the end of the video. But if any of these animals were to resurrect as you see in sci-fis, which one would you prefer living on Mars to finding a way to live amongst them in fear? Let us know in the comment section down below.